Rhoades here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is part one of my August Stamp Set of the Month series. I'm doing things a little bit different this month. First of all, I'm trying something new. It's kind of a challenge for me. I'm trying the Sunflower and Daisy Altenew stamp set that's a layering stamp set. So this is like really pretty and detailed and realistic, when normally my style is a little bit more cutesy, but I love the look of this stamp set. It's gorgeous. So I had to try it. So I'm trying something new. Also in this video, I'm going to be creating my card from scratch in the video. It's not pre-planned, so you're going to see my entire creative process. So I would love to know what you think of this video versus the others, and just so you know, some parts will be greatly sped up for your convenience. Otherwise, we could be here all day. And as much as I would love to stamp with you all day, you might have other things to do. So some parts are sped up. Also, I love to give away my cards from my Stamp Set of the Month series. So if you leave a comment below and you like this video, then your name will get put into a drawing and you could win the card I'm gonna make today. So that leads me to my other point. If you commented on part 5 video from the July Stamp Set of the Month series last Monday, then your name was put into a drawing to win one of 2 cards. Whichever one was your favorite, that's what you were supposed to comment: the Record Player Z-Fold card or the Boombox. So the person who won their favorite card will appear on the screen now. And congratulations. I thank you guys so much for watching my videos and for subscribing and all the thumbs up. It means so much to me. And now I think we should go ahead and look at some stamp layering with Altenew stamps. So let's take a look at this die set. I love that the dies come already cut apart and they show you exactly how they cut out the stamped images. Here's the stamp set. And if you look closely, you'll see that these images are labeled A1, A2, A3, A4, B1, 2, 3, so you know which stamps layer together and in what order. That's fabulous. On the inside of the packaging for the stamp set, there's some examples for you, some ideas, and then they show you what color combinations they use to create those. There's some tips for use and storage and care for your stamps, and then there's the layering guide, and it indicates what area to look at for lining up this particular stamp, and it is so helpful. I love it. Also, the color combination guide, brilliant. And there's a little QR code there in the bottom, and if you turn your phone on and open the camera, when you hover over that QR code, it's going to open up some more information about that stamp set, some more ideas. So it's fabulous. All right, so let's stamp this out. I'm going to first try stamping it with an acrylic block, which is what I used to do in the olden days when I did a 2-step stamping with some stamps from Stampin' Up. So I have some experience with layered stamping, and I thought I would give it a go again with clear stamps from Altenew and all the helpful tips they have. I love it. I'm also using Altenew inks because Altenew stamps, right? And they come in sets of 4. I love their little color families, and the yellow that I'm using is from the Pocketful of Sunshine. So all 4 of these ink pads come together when you buy the Pocketful of Sunshine collection. So I'm just starting with the lightest color, Citrus Burst, and working my way through all 4 of the colors, ending with Honey Drizzle. And I love how all of these looked together, but in the samples they had darker highlights on their flower, or darker shadows than is on mine. So I think when I try this again, which I will here in a minute, I'm going to go ahead and try a darker color. But the next part of this particular flower is the center of the flower. So I'm bringing in 3 brown colors. They're from the Delectable Delights collection. So cute, right? I started with vanilla cream, then I did hazelnut, and then almond butter. So I like how it looks, but I also want to try this using my stamp positioning tool. So I'm coming back in with the Pocketful of Sunshine, but I'm just using the 3 darkest colors, eliminating the lightest, and then I'm going to bring in that hazelnut color for my 4th color for this flower. So I'm going to try out positioning this with my stamp positioning tool and see if it's easier, if I like it better. It was pretty easy with the block, but I like the idea of lining up the stamp with the already stamped image before the stamp has ink on it. And once I double stamped it here, I was like, oh yeah, that's gorgeous. I love it. So I think in the future, because I can, I'm using my MISTI for this. And you know, any stamp positioning tool will work. And I think that it makes it a little less stressful. I feel a little more confident about it. So I'm loving this, using the 3 darkest colors and then coming in with that hazelnut. The hazelnut is a really golden tan color, and it works fabulous here, as long as I can figure out how to line this last one up. I don't know why I had trouble with this last one. This particular flower, I would say, is a little bit more forgiving than some other flower sets can be when lining them up, because it has so many small little, almost like brush strokes of flower leaves. So if you get it a little bit off, it doesn't look horrible. I think it's beautiful. I'm so excited about how it turned out. It's so realistic, and it just draws your eye to it. So for the center of this flower, I am going to use, instead of the 3 lightest in the Delectable Delights, I'm using the 3 darkest. So for the center, I'm starting with hazelnut, and then I'm putting in some almond butter, and then milk chocolate. I happen to stamp the wrong one first, even though they're labeled. I'm new here, I don't know. So I just restamped the first one and went on like it never happened, and it all worked out fine. So there you have it. This video, like I said at the beginning, is my creative process, start to finish. So you're going to see something I didn't really notice that I do, but I have like excited fingers. I kind of, when I like something or I'm thinking about something, ooh, there go my fingers. So watch for that. It's kind of entertaining. All right, so check out the dies. They're already cut for you. Thank you, Altenew. I love that. So once I figured out that I have the die upside down, it was very easy to line up and die cut that beautiful sunflower. All right, so let's stamp the smaller of the 2 flowers, and I am using a red combination, also from Altenew, as you can see, and that one is from, let me think, the Red Sunset collection. So I used Rouge for my first color, and then Velvet for the second layer. It's only 2 steps in this particular flower. So clean that off, and then I'm going to use the same exact colors for the center of this flower as I used on the last one. So the 3 darkest tan colors, and there you have it. I die cut that out too, and then I'm also going to ink up and stamp the leaf image. So there are 3 layers to this leaf image, and I'm using 3 different colors of ink, and they are perfect for this leaf. I just love them. So my favorite green inks from Altenew right now are from the Green Fields collection. So I started with Frayed Leaf, then I'm putting on Forest Glades, and then Evergreen ink as my last color. So those 3, look at that, it's so cool. Wait till I put on the last little bit here, the detail. It's gorgeous. So we'll just line that up, pick it up with the door of the stamp positioning tool, and ink it up with that dark color. And you'll see those fine little details in there. Yeah, I love it. I am double stamping each time just because I can. I don't know, ever since I started double stamping with the stamp positioning tool, it's really hard for me not to do it. So I die cut those out. I wanted 2 leaves, so I just repeated that. The other thing about using a stamp positioning tool, if you know you're going to do 2, you could go ahead and stamp 2 before removing the stamp. All right, so here you'll see me going through a bunch of gel press prints. So I love to make my own backgrounds on the gel press. If you're not familiar with the gel press, I have several videos on my YouTube channel showing how to use the gel press, so you'll want to check those out. These are made mostly with acrylic paint, some of them maybe with ink. So as I'm going through, I'm separating them into no, no, and then some to the yes pile. And all I did was pull out all the prints I have that were kind of in the green family. So I have tons more than this because it's addicting to make gel press backgrounds for sure. All right, so then once I had it narrowed down to, I think it was about 7 or 8, I laid the flowers on top of those and sorted them again into the yes and the no pile. And then I can kind of get a better feel for it once I lay the flowers on there. And also, sometimes there's just a particular section of a gel press print that you like, and you can die cut that out instead of using a paper trimmer like this one. So there's a lot of white area, so you could use the die to cut out the section that you want. So that's why I have the die there. Sometimes it just helps me get a frame of reference. So I was able to then narrow it down to these 4. Then I decided to cut them into card front size panels and thought maybe that would help me narrow it down even more. So here I am laying things out. I kind of loved this little polka dot one, but then I just felt like it was so busy. It wasn't quite right. So I ruled that one out. Let me see if I like this one better with more white. And then, nope, this, for some reason, this blue and green one is the one that won for me. So now I'm just trying to figure out what color of card base do I want. The oatmeal cookie color, out. I went with that blue Lagoon color. It's one of the colors of paint that I used to make that print. And so that's the one that won. So now I'm picking out a sentiment from the Sunflower Daisy stamp set and a piece of cardstock that I want to stamp it on. And I tried yellow and I decided it was too much. So now I have some lemongrass paper and decided this is definitely the right one. And now I'm just trying to decide, do I want the lemongrass paper to be as wide as the card base or as wide as the card front? And I decided to have it be as wide as the card base. So it's going to extend past that printed background. So I'm going to ink this up with that milk chocolate. It's the darkest of the browns that I used today. And that I will stamp in the bottom right corner of this panel. And I will stamp that repeatedly so that it is nice and crisp. And set that aside so that I can splatter my background with some dark roast silk from Fun Stamper's Journey. That I love to splatter my gel press backgrounds. I love it. I don't know why. It's just, it goes with the feel of the paper. I always put on more than I think I want because so much of that splatter is going to get covered by your stamped images, your sentiment, and all those things. So that's why there's kind of a lot on there, and a lot of it will get covered up. So I'm gluing that down once the splatter is dry, and then I'll just set an acrylic block on there to help it adhere and be flat. And then I'm going to glue on my sentiment strip, and then I'll come in and arrange those flowers. Look how gorgeous they are. Oh my word. I just can't get over it. So beautiful. All right, so when I'm deciding where these go, I have to lay it out. I have to scoot it. I have to look at it 100 times. That's what I do. I never stick things down until I'm really ready. But even so, I stuck all these things down, and then I had to go back and add more things. So it's always a good idea to wait and adhere your pieces down later, and then you'll know if you need to add something in the end. But still, there are times when you think you're done and you go back and add more, right? Well, that's what's going to happen with this card. So a lot of foam squares because I like a lot of foam squares. I like my cards to be sturdy, very sturdy. So that's how I roll. Luckily, I did not drop that glue side down. I was very happy about that. All right, so then we glued down one leaf and we'll pop up this last little red flower. And I think, oh, my card's done. But only for a second. And then I realized it needs something else. It just needs something. That's what my fingers are thinking right there. All right, so I brought out this little cluster of leaves, and that was the thing. I was so excited. Yes, it needs that. So I'm going to bring in the medium shade of green, Forest Glades, and I'm going to stamp that on there, and I love it. So let's lift up this flower and try to stamp another one. And I loved it, except I didn't quite get the tips of the leaves there. So, what am I going to do? Let me see if we want one up here. No, don't like that. So I decided I have a little ink left on the top of this. Let's see if I can get those leaves in. And I did, but I wasn't done yet. I felt like it needed some bling. So I brought in all the green rhinestones that I could find in my drawer, and I just kind of set them on there and look at it and think about it. And these are a weird rhinestone. They came in a Christmas pack, and they're like, are they green? No. Are they blue? No. Well, they match this background exactly. So finally the day has come where I found something to use these particular rhinestones on. They're very shimmery, and they have a little bit of a metallic shine to them, so they're really cool. I'm glad I found something to use them on. And I had put one down and decided I didn't like where it was, so I had to put a new glue dot on the back of it and just scoot it around until I was happy. And yet one more element to this card. I felt like I needed a little something extra underneath that sentiment strip, so I tore a dark piece of cardstock, and I'm going to just tuck it up under there, but I needed it not to be so harsh on the ends, so I tore that again, and now I'll put some glue on and just slip it under that sentiment strip, and let's try that again. Press it into place, and then I like to just kind of bend some of it up and scrunch it so it looks a little bit more distressed. And that is the card. That is the front of the card. I'm done with it. I love it. Look at it. I made this. It's so cute. I am really pleased with how those flowers turned out. Yeah, but now I decided for this month, for my Stamp Set of the Month series, I am going to decorate, I guess is the right word, the inside of the card, because back in the day when I used to show my husband all the things I made, I would say, look at my card, and he would open it and say, you didn't put anything on the inside. So this week, this month, on all my Stamp Set of the Month cards, I am going to make the inside pretty. So you can see I poo-pooed my idea to put the sunflower, my first sunflower that I stamped on the inside. I feel like it's lacking that kind of darker color that it needs, and so it's not my favorite. So I die cut some of those little leaves and am using those on the inside, and a little strip of that gel press print as well. And I just love how it turns out. I need to do this more often. Accentuate the inside. Take the time. You've got all the supplies out. Why not just put a little something in there? I'm going to go ahead and stamp a sentiment in there that says grateful for you. And I'm going to use that milk chocolate ink again. Everybody needs a stamp pad called milk chocolate, and maybe a bowl of milk chocolate on your stamp desk. I don't, but some people might. I certainly don't need any chocolate on my desk. It's so dangerous. All right, so that is the finished card. I really loved playing with the Altenew stamps. Look at my card. I was very excited about how it turned out. Thank you so much for coming and watching my first stamp set of the month for the month of August. I will be back every Monday with a new video featuring this stamp set, the Sunflower Daisy. I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, give it a thumbs up. I would love to know. And I will be back also on Friday, because I do videos every Monday and Friday. So come back, check it out, and I will see you all again very soon. Happy stamping. Bye.